Breaking news! Something's happening in Cleveland, and it's not just another routine preseason preparation. Behind the scenes, the Browns quarterback picture is changing in ways that could reshape the depth chart before week 1 even arrives. The guy everyone thought would make his NFL debut this Friday? He's out. Another veteran who was gaining momentum in training camp? Also sidelined. This leaves the door open for a rookie with a famous last name to take center stage, and maybe, just maybe, steal the show. But this isn't just about one game. What happens under the lights on Friday night against the Panthers could set the tone for the entire season, create unexpected drama in the QB room, and give us all a first glimpse into whether the Browns' future is already here. And trust me, the way this is going, you'll want to watch every snap. I have a few more things to tell you, but before I continue, make sure you enjoy. But only do this if you've been a Browns fan for more than 15 years. It's always great to see loyal fans of all generations interacting here. It means a lot to us. If you can, right, go Browns, let's go to the Super Bowl. Let's get straight to the point. Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett won't even step on the field Friday night against the Panthers. Both are nursing hamstring injuries, and head coach Kevin Stefanski has decided to take no chances. That means fans who were hoping to see Gabriel's NFL debut will have to wait at least another week. The decision came after the final joint practice with Carolina, where Stefanski used the time to get starters their reps in a controlled environment, making the preseason opener a proving ground for rookies and bubble players. The plan is clear: rest the vets, unleash the kids, and see who steps up when the lights hit. Gabriel and Pickett may be sidelined, but they weren't completely absent this week. Both took part in 7-on-7 drills, showing signs that their hamstrings are healing. Gabriel even looked sharp, going 7-for-8 with a touchdown during the joint practice, a small but promising sign for fans concerned after early camp criticism about his accuracy. Still, Stefanski isn't rushing him, just being very careful with him. Don't want to expose him to any unnecessary strain, the coach said. That means only 2 quarterbacks will take real snaps Friday: rookie Shadur Sanders, who gets the start, and newly signed veteran Tyler Huntley, who will split time. And here's where things get interesting. While Joe Flacco still sits atop the depth chart and doesn't need the reps, this game is a golden chance for Sanders to not just show flashes, but to put pressure on the hierarchy. The 5th-round pick has been a magnet for attention ever since draft day, not just because of his famous last name, but because he arrived with the poise and profile of a much higher selection. Inside the building, Browns legend Joe Thomas says the buzz is positive, very positive. On 92.3 The Fan's Ken Carman show, Thomas shared that everyone he's spoken to in Berea has been very impressed with Shadur Sanders and how serious, driven, and motivated he is to be great, adding that some of the outside noise about his development doesn't match the reality within the team. The timing couldn't be better for Sanders. Pickett's setback leaves a vacuum for QB2 reps, and Gabriel's absence means Sanders will get all the live game pressure he can handle right out of the gate. Stefanski's approach for the preseason is simple. Don't overload the young guys with complexity. You try to keep it very simple so guys can play fast. All concepts that our players know, not think too much, and just play ball. That's exactly what Sanders will need: freedom to operate without overthinking, and a chance to build chemistry with receivers who are also fighting for roster spots. Speaking of those receivers, Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman are also being held out, so the pass-catching duties will fall to the rest of the room. This opens a window for lesser-known names to connect with Sanders and Huntley in what could be their most important audition of the summer. And while cornerback Greg Newsome, too, was limited in practice with a shoulder issue, Stefanski says he's progressing. Guard Zach Zinter, however, didn't participate at all, staying back in Cleveland after leaving Monday's practice early. Beyond Cleveland, there's another Sanders story playing out, this one in Tampa Bay. Shedeur's brother, safety Shadur Sanders, signed with the Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent and is currently listed as a 4th stringer on their first depth chart. Making the 53-man roster will be an uphill climb for him, but for now, the spotlight remains firmly on Shedeur's first real NFL test. The last time he started a game was December 28th in the Alamo Bowl, when he threw for 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in a loss to BYU. Now, he's stepping into an NFL huddle for the first time, tasked with proving he can handle the speed, pressure, and precision of the league. If Sanders delivers under the Friday night lights, the ripple effects could be huge, not just for his own trajectory, but for how the Browns manage their quarterback room heading into week 1. Right now, Joe Flacco's veteran presence makes him the safe choice, and Kenny Pickett's experience still holds weight once he's healthy. But preseason football has a way of rewriting depth charts in ways nobody predicted. If Sanders could pair the composure he's shown in practice with big play capability against the Panthers, Stefanski will have no choice but to give him a longer look in preseason game 2 against the Eagles. The beauty and the risk of this this game is that every rep Sanders takes will be under the microscope. Unlike practice, there's no stopping the play to correct a mistake, no rerunning a route to fix timing. It's live, it's fast, and it's exactly where you separate potential from reality. That's why Stefanski is using these early preseason games as a testing ground. Majority of their reps are going to come in the football game, he said of the younger guys. In other words, Friday isn't just about execution, it's about mental toughness, adaptation, and proving you can adjust on the fly against defenders who are also fighting for their careers. Gabriel, meanwhile, will have to watch from the sidelines and hope his hamstring heals in time to make up for lost reps. That's the tricky part. Stefanski himself acknowledged that the most valuable experience comes in actual games, not just practice. Missing even one preseason matchup can slow a rookie's integration into the system. For Gabriel, who entered camp with some early criticism about accuracy, this delay means his window to shift the narrative will be tighter. The same is true for Pickett, who had been positioning himself as a legitimate contender for significant playing time before his own hamstring setback. And let's not overlook Tyler Huntley in this mix. The veteran was signed to provide stability, but a strong showing against Carolina could put him in play for more than just a backup role in preseason. Huntley thrives on quick, decisive throws and mobility outside the pocket, qualities that could be showcased well if the offensive line can hold up. With key starters resting, the protection unit will feature plenty of rotational players, meaning Huntley and Sanders will need to manage pressure situations that more closely mirror regular season chaos. On the defensive side, Greg Newsome's limited participation is worth monitoring. A healthy Newsome is vital to Cleveland's secondary, and while his progress is encouraging, the Browns won't risk aggravating the shoulder before it's fully ready. Zach Zinger's absence raises questions about offensive line depth, a concern that could become more pronounced if injuries pile up before September. All of this sets the stage for a preseason opener that might look low stakes on paper but is anything but for the players involved. Every completion, every defensive stop, every special teams tackle is another data point for the coaching staff. For fans, it's the first real chance to see how these off-season storylines translate into on-field chemistry. The QB spotlight will burn brightest, but don't be surprised if a receiver fighting for WR4 or WR5 steals a few headlines, or if a defensive back makes a roster-saving play. So, Browns fans, Friday night could be the start of something bigger than just a preseason win or loss. It's a glimpse into the future of this team, a future that might be shaped by how a rookie named Shadur Sanders handles his first real NFL moment. Could this be the night he changes the Browns quarterback conversation for good? Browns fans, this is where our journey truly begins. Preseason or not, these moments matter, not just for the players fighting for their spot, but for the heart and soul of this team. Every snap Shedeur takes, every throw Huntley makes, every rookie who steps onto that field is carrying the weight of a city that's been waiting too long for its football dreams to come true. We've seen adversity before, we've seen setbacks, but we've also seen this team rise when it matters most. So let's bring that same energy now. Pack the stands, light up the comments, and let these guys feel the passion of Cleveland behind them. Because whether it's the first drive of preseason or the final drive in January, one truth never changes. This is our team, our city, and together, we fight for every yard. Dawg Pound, it's time to be heard.